Hey guys, welcome to Plugged In with Spike Leo. This episode we're going to be talking about the benefits of having a mentor. And this is something that I felt really strongly about for a very long time when I first started producing, and also through my creative life. So I used to do dancing and performing and drumming and all sorts of stuff. And I think for me, it's like growing up through that period of time, I always had sources of inspiration. And I remember when I was on my journey that I found when I couldn't find those sources of inspiration, I really struggled to kind of be creative and get things moving until I got to a point where I was able to find inspiration within myself. And that's something that took like many years creatively, but it got me to a point where I don't need to wait for the inspiration to come. I can just kind of find ways that I know good habits for me to be able to make that happen. But I'm not talking about that today. What I more want to talk about is the benefits of having a mentor. And I know it's easy said than done, but it can be quite challenging to find a mentor, and not just find a mentor, but find the right one. So for about 6 years into my music production, and for 6 years, I remember I was really looking for a mentor. I really struggled with a lot of self-isolation. You know, there was no one there to kick me up the butt. There was no one to show my work to and say, is what I'm doing okay? I didn't have anyone to answer my questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I remember sending emails after emails. And when I say emails, I mean like maybe 50 to 100 emails to music studios, to people in the music industry. And I was just under the notion that if I send out enough emails, I'm going to get a reply. And I did get maybe, 10% back in replies, but I didn't get the replies that I want. And I literally was reaching out to studios saying that I'll be a fly on the wall, I'll make coffees, whatever, just basically to get myself in there and see how a real recording studio is run. And basically what happened was no one answered my replies. I didn't get accepted into anywhere, and the struggle just went on. And so now I'm really passionate about helping people on that journey, whether you're like beginner or advanced. I'm really adamant about trying to answer those questions and make sure that people have the confidence to keep pushing through. I'm trying to do things to break that self-isolation, to bring community together, like our Squad Sunday session, which is growing amazingly and it is so exciting. So I think, it is important to search for a mentor, but don't feel discouraged if you don't get one. There's other avenues to get mentors. For me, a big mentor of mine was Gary Vee, and I've basically watched hundreds of his videos online. So there are all these mentors online, but there's nothing better than actually seeing someone in the flesh and being face to face. And I remember only recently, after many years, I saw this opportunity for a mentorship, and it was with an incredibly lovely man, talented speaker and engineer for mastering. His name's Jack the Bear, Tony Mance. And he put out a post saying that he's going to take on some mentees. And I remember sitting at the gym and I was looking at my phone, of course, in between sets because I was working out really hard. And I remember seeing that he was going to take on 5 applicants for a year and blah, blah, blah. And I applied for it. I thought that I obviously wasn't going to get it, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to apply for it anyway. And to cut a short story shorter, I got the mentorship, and it was so great to meet this bloke and see him one-on-one and just chat with him and have someone give me the confidence. We spend so much time looking for affirmation, and Jack really kind of challenged me with that idea of, why are you always looking for the affirmation of others? Because the truth is that we actually have the answers inside of us. And it takes a long time to get to that point where you have the confidence to say, what I'm doing is okay. Even if it is crap, I'm happy with it. And it's something that takes practice. There's all these gurus out there telling you, think positive and do this and blah, blah, blah. And what I really want to say today is that it's okay. It's okay to feel shit. It's okay to have shit days. It's okay to say, stuff this, it's too difficult, I want to quit. Like anyone who's watching this right now who's a creative, if we're all honest with each other, we've all got to that stage where we've gone, this is too difficult. I don't want to do it anymore. And I've been there plenty of times where I've gone, what am I doing? I felt like I was crazy. I'm spending all this money on equipment, ludicrous amounts of money on equipment. And I was getting scared, like maybe I'm just a gear nerd and buying equipment because it makes me think I'm a better producer. I don't know what it was, but I had my ego trying to bash me down at every place I turned. And, it's just something that I think you just need to keep pushing through, and it does take time. And now when I have shit days, I embrace those shit days. And I say, today I don't feel so crash hot. I'm not feeling so creative. Just accept it, and just accept that it's not a great day. A lot of us feel that when you look at all these mentors online, the people who have got all these success stories with millions of dollars and blah, 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 that, if you're not hustling every single second, and if you're not pushing, if you're not working 16 to 18 hours a day, that you're failing. They set such a high bar with such huge expectation that I also felt that, when I was trying to put these things into my life and make it a part of my routine and habit, that I was failing them. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They don't give a shit. But I was failing myself because I couldn't meet the expectations of a successful person. And life gets in the way, Some people have families, some people have kids, some people have to work. I was talking before about, 80% in a job you hate and 20% of what you love. Obviously, we're trying to change the balance, and we want to get to a place where we're 80%, 90%, 100% what we love, and you still might have to sacrifice by doing shit you don't. Now, going back to the mentor thing, Jack the Bear, I remember sitting with him, I think start of last year or whenever it was. I basically started my music studio in my room, like many of you would, and I was in there for many, 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 many years, slowly building the studio. And when I moved houses with my partner, I made sure that I had a house where I could put one of the rooms as a studio, and then obviously another room for our bedroom. And I guess I got to the point where I was getting a lot of clients coming through, and I needed to potentially move out. For me, that was incredibly scary because, I wasn't earning thousands and thousands of dollars. I was earning a few hundred here, a few hundred there. And the idea of having to pay rent at an additional location was terrifying, more responsibility. And just sitting on that couch with Jack the Bear, in the way that he would say it is, what the fuck do you have to lose? And many other words that I'm going to hold back. But he basically gave me a big kick up the butt. And I really think that's a huge benefit of having a mentor and having someone there who can directly see what you're doing or that you look up to. Now, just that sentence, like, just do it. Just do it. You got nothing to lose. You can always pull out and say it didn't work and it's fine. And maybe that would have been a failure or whatever, but I gave it the chance, and it was actually the best decision that I ever made to move that studio out into a proper location. And someone said to me that, perception is a really important thing, the way people perceive stuff. Like, you could see a Picasso picture and it looks like absolute crap, but it's priced at $1 million because people perceive that the art of Picasso is incredible. Now, I'm not taking away that from the fact that maybe it is incredible, but, a lot of people have said over the years that picture looks like a 10-year-old painted it. And if a 10-year-old did paint it, it'd probably be worth $2. But it's about perception. So, moving the studio out into a professional space, it really tells people that, this person is doing it professionally. It's not just a hobby. This person is serious. And I felt like I wasn't sure about that, but it's definitely true. As soon as you move it into a professional space, the work is more productive. You feel great about going into the workspace because as soon as you enter that space, you're creative. You're able to just focus on what you need to focus on. You can't run to the kitchen to make yourself some toast, or there's not all the distractions. It really solidified what I was trying to achieve. And it was the best kick up the butt that I ever got. And if that was the only thing that my mentor did or helped me with, which it wasn't, but if that was the only thing, it was huge. That was a real turning point in kind of what I'm doing career-wise. So I highly recommend searching for a mentor, and please don't feel ashamed if you look up to someone. They might not see themselves as a mentor, but just say like, look, I'd really love you to be a mentor or to guide me. I'd really love to share my stuff with you. I have people sharing stuff with me all the time. And guys, I'm so happy to listen. I'm so happy to listen because I love seeing the stages and the journey that everyone's going through. And I'm not sitting here like I'm king shit saying that I've reached the pinnacle of success. The idea that I love to do these videos is because I'm still chasing, and you guys can watch my journey, you know, like, I don't care if it's 2 people watching this video, if it's 10, if it's 20, because as soon as it gets to a point, it might be thousands, and they're going to go through this back catalog of what my journey was. We're only generally interested in someone's journey when we see that they're driving a Porsche or a Ferrari and all this bullshit. And I can guarantee that's probably not what makes people happy. You know, I really think that you got to be honest with yourself. Definitely chase your dreams and strive for high ordeals, but I think we need to recognize that it's also okay to feel bad. It's also okay to suffer from depression. These things are so kind of taboo, but it's like, if you're having a shit day, accept that it's a shit day. If you're having a shit week, if you're having a shit month, just accept it. We have hopefully a whole lifetime to do the things that we want to do. And I'm not saying be lazy and take your time, but we have to look after ourselves first. And we're all trying to fight to get to where we want to do. And you do have to fight. You do have to work hard. I can't take that away from those really successful people. You know, I'm always thinking like, maybe I need to put in the extra hours more than that guy or an extra day. And I do those things, but I also understand how to balance it sometimes. So yeah, being positive all the time, this shit's unrealistic. You don't need to do it. I just got some notes here, making sure I've spoken about what I want to speak about. Yeah, but basically, like, I think it's okay to find help in your profession, whatever it is. Make sure you're reaching out to those people that you admire and that you aspire to be doing what they're doing. I've reached out to many people. Some people help me, some people don't. Some people have given me a few little bits and pieces over the years, and I value those things so incredibly much, and I'm so grateful. And gratitude, being a nice person, they're all things that are really going to help take it to the next level. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's really going to help me with making these videos and growing this following. We've got a huge Squad Sunday coming up this Sunday, June 3rd, which we'll be putting out the next week. We've got our lovely cameraman, Thomas. Thomas, what's your last name? Gonzalez. Tomas Gonzalez from Chile. That was my Chilean accent, by the way. Get in touch with him if you guys want to do any types of videos. He does video clips. He's an incredible talent, and he hasn't been in Australia for long, so come help him out or hit me up if you want to get in touch with him directly. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching Plugged In. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Cheers.